I don't think she gets hated on. I don't think her gets hated on. I think that people hate the discourse surrounding her. And I think that obviously we live in America. Whenever there's a black and white thing, people choose sides. Like even the LSU Iowa game at like one point in time turned into like a whole race war. It was like, wow, I saw people tweeting, like, granted, it's Twitter and everything is over centralized, but it was like, how could you be a black man and root for Iowa? Because Caitlin Clark Cole, bro, and I just like watching her play basketball. But like, I think that people just hated the discourse that comes from her. Obviously, it's a white woman who plays at a white school. Like literally the whole team is basically white. I think they had like one like mixed lady, but basically the whole team is white. She's a white woman from Iowa. So you have like middle America. I mean, and not even middle America. I mean like the middle of the map of America, like that part of America, the super Midwest, super white Midwest, going up against LSU. They actually happen to win. Also, I think that people look at Angel Reese, and I guess I don't want to know about the. I would say the criticism that Angel Reese receives. I think a lot of people want to see Caitlin Clark receive that same criticism, but the fact of the matter is they're different people. I think Angel was a little bit more like brash or whatever. And granted, no fault to her. She's just being herself. But when you are being yourself, sometimes being yourself does come with things. And Caitlin is a little bit more. She lets her game talk more than she talks, I would say. But I think that what she's doing for the sport has been, I mean, what her, Paige, Juju, Angel, even Don Staley, you know, just being coaching the way she coaches, dressing the way she dresses, and then having her team going out there and dominating. I think it all does something great for the game. And I think that in general, it was just a great spectacle for women's basketball. And I will be excited to see if her hype train can carry over long term into the WNBA, because I'm somebody that thinks that, granted, yes, I do think that we've had more eyes on it. Obviously, you can't argue with the numbers this year, but I always thought that, like, as far as the women's game, women's college basketball always seemed to be the peak of women's basketball to me. And then sometimes when these players get to the league, they don't tail off. It's just like the you play in the summer, sometimes the games at odd times. So maybe that they don't get viewed as much, or you stop hearing about their name as much as you did when they're in college. But long story short, I don't think that people were hating on her. I just think that some people hated the discourse surrounding her because, again, we're in America and there's always a race element that comes into these things like this.
Dante, what's your take on what's been going on with this? Do you agree with Pav that it's not hate?
Yeah, I do agree with Pav. I think the hate is more so toward the coverage of Caitlin Clark. I think the hate that she gets is from casuals and people who just hate on everything women do. Like, that's a part of Twitter and that's a part of being online that we have to acknowledge. You got some niggas out here who just hate women, and no matter what happens, they're gonna say some negative shit. And you know, as far as like Diana Taurasi and all the players' reaction, I actually love that because we're starting to see, you know, so often people try to separate men and women's basketball, but the competitiveness is the same, bro. Like, you're talking about people who are great at their craft. You have a young person who's been great on a lower level who's about to come to where I am, and y'all are already crowning her as the GOAT, saying she gonna do this, she gonna do that. So naturally, as competitors, they like, nah, wait a minute, like, this shit not sweet. Like, it was the same thing Cheryl Swoops said when they asked Cheryl Swoops, is she gonna come straight to the W and dominate? It's like, no, nobody does that. You feel me? And so, and again, to Pavy's point about the black white thing, when you have a sport that's been dominated by black women, naturally they're gonna be sensitive about this. Like, you got people who are overlooking Cheryl Swoops, overlooking Cheryl Miller, you know what I'm saying? Tina Thompson. Like, there's so many black women who paved the way and held this game up, Don Staley included. And now that, like you said, it is a great thing that we got more eyes on the game. You got more people who are coming in to watch it. But when you had the people who set the tone and laid the foundation being essentially ignored, and this is an even deeper conversation because you have black women in the WNBA now that would tell you, shit, well, all y'all talk about is Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi anyway. So it's like, it's just adding to it, it's adding fuel to the fire. So I think the hate per se is more so toward the coverage that she receives, because everybody with two eyes can see the shorty can hoop. Like, that's a non-starter. And then also we got recency bias. She's the fresh new face. Like, people don't remember Maya Moore because Maya Moore's retired. Like, you know, they've already allowed that to start slipping. But those of us who watched knew how great she was. But I think it's more so it's the coverage, and that's never gonna change. And honestly, that might be a good thing because that just shows people, you know, people are actually tuned in. They
Yeah,
locked into what's going on.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like you can say that with any major phenom or anybody coming to a new league. Like, we're always gonna be mad about the coverage, but that's just the world we live in right now. Period. Like, that's why I think I could see if she wasn't like, it's some stuff overboard. Yeah, maybe some stuff is overboard, but it's not like she ain't been hooping. Like, so that's why, like, I feel like we got to take the coverage with not a grain of salt, but there's a reason why they're talking about it. It's like the same thing as I'm gonna keep bringing up Caleb Williams. Is Caleb Williams Patrick Mahomes? No, but sometimes he might do a spiral or something like that, one of them side passes that look Patrick Mahomes. Like, they're gonna compare him to it. We've been seeing the next Lex LeBron for all these type of years. I think maybe with that it comes with hate, but that's just how we're winning 24/7, 365 news coverage with these things. So when you have somebody who's holding it down, you're gonna get that type of thing. But I did see a lot of stuff on, at least on my Twitter timeline. As Bang says, "Fuck Twitter." I don't worry about your timeline, but like a lot of people was, "Oh, this is a ploy to get her into the national championship." It's not that deep, in my opinion. But Bang, what you think about this?
I think multiple things could be right at the same time here. I think that the black women in the WNBA have a good reason to feel away. This girl ain't even in the league yet. So yeah, they should feel away. Ice Cube offering $5 million and everything. Yeah, they should feel away. But also you do have to understand you don't have to curb your feelings, even though you know what's going on. Like you could just, if you wanna trivialize it, just go watch the Great White Hype movie and go watch how Irish Jimmy Conklin rose to fame for a specific reason, right? So, and that's not Caitlin Clark's fault. Like, none of this is Caitlin Clark's fault. She just so happened to be a white girl that's good at basketball. So there is going to be a lot of people of color that's not in the WNBA, and quite honestly, that don't watch the WNBA, that's going to have feelings. There's a lot of casual fans out here that's jumping on the "we hate this woman" bandwagon because she a white woman balling. But at the same time, again, they have never probably watched a full game, college game, let alone a full WNBA game, right? With that being said, again, it's not Caitlin Clark's fault. She didn't ask for this. She's just great at what she does. And I'm not mad at the WNBA players at all. Like, if anything, honestly, if they did not say that, I would have been like, okay, y'all on bullshit. Because now it's competition. And like, now you're going to be going up against grown women. And I believe that the women of the WNBA had to say that, especially Diana Taurasi had to say that. Why? Because now you're bringing in a rivalry before she even, you're creating a rivalry before she even steps foot in whatever the stadium name is in Indianapolis. Like, before she steps in, now you can't wait to see Diana Taurasi versus her. Now you can't wait to see all of these women versus her. That's what brings ratings.
The Mercury, damn, they're already advertising. I don't know if y'all saw that
Yeah,
tweet.
no, yeah.
No, they are. The
They
GOAT
are.
versus Rook.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the thing about it is you need this in order to keep the story going. So from a marketing standpoint, they would be dumb as hell just to be like, yo, we can't wait to have her in the association. It's gonna be great, and yeah. And all of those other fans, they're expecting that because they're women. They just want to graciously bring her in and, yeah, girl power. No, Diana Taurasi, like, nah, you think that shit's sweet. Now, wait till your ass get up in the league and we got to play these killers.
Yeah,
She
G, and I
can bring a different audience because of competition. Because, Dante, you tell me, because I don't know. I'm not about to cape for this shit. I don't watch this shit like that. But if you correct me if I'm wrong, but the Aces and the Liberty built super teams, right?
yeah.
All right. Outside of those two, then what's the rivalry in the WNBA?
I mean, you got like Sparks. It's like you got like regional things.
No.
Like,
It's more so
You
regional
mean like
Players.
like
players though?
Who's the player?
fair.
Yeah, because I'm
mean,
gonna say like
you
they tried to make AJ and Stewie a thing, but that's not really a
I think
thing.
I think
they
you
just
had
too better.
more, but then like everybody started teaming up, and it's like, well, we all on the same team now. So I mean, like, yeah. But, like, no, that's like other ones coming up, like Sabu, and like you could like makeshift things. But yes, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's why that's important.
Yeah, and that's
Now,
what I was going
go ahead,
before you
Monty.
go, Scott. I agree with Bang because what's one of the major complaints everybody has about the NBA right now?
No rivalries.
It's no rivalries, no competition. It's all some AAU bullshit. Which is, some surface level argument. But when you really look at it, that's how a lot of people feel that's what the game is right now. So for them, I love the fact that they aren't just embracing shorty with open arms. I'm sure it's going to be, sisterhood, all that other good shit. But in terms of playing basketball, we're still competitors. I still been, like I said, they've been carrying this league and not getting the credit for it. And now y'all finna just give it all to this white girl. So like, no, and then it ain't all race because shit, Diana Taurasi white. So I mean, it's just players in general they're gonna feel some type of way because you're taking this woman and trying to crown her day one.
Yeah, I get that too. My whole thing is I just look at it like I get all the actual not complaints, but like feelings for the black woman who played in the game and feel like, oh, well, this white woman's just getting credit. That's usually how it goes with anything, and not just in sports, with anything. But at the same time, she's a needle mover, bro. Like I would understand more if she wasn't nice. You know what I'm saying? If she was like kind of overrated, I would get it. But she hooping. So like, and I'm looking at it more from not even the player perspective, because I like that too. Donna Taurasi's supposed to say that. Like, I'm the big dog. I done been here for a long time. You're not just finna come up in here and think you finna be dominant. I get that. From the fan perspective, or people who are trying to act like we're, disrespecting the pioneers of the game by giving love to this person, I just don't think that's the case. You're going to go with whatever the hot new thing is, any type of player who comes in there and they're, there's going to be people. We saw this with LeBron. LeBron's own teammate said, oh, we going to see how he fits in with us. Like that's not how it works. And he was the needle mover. She's the needle mover. So they're going to talk about what moves the needle. That's just that simple to me. So, but I think this type of publicity and just the fact that we're discussing this is great for the game. It's great for women's basketball, because when I can't ever remember a time, and I know, Pav, you said you feel like, they've always been like I guess it's been the best college basketball, but at least from a casual viewer or somebody who doesn't really pay attention at all, I've never seen this type of outside hype to the point where I know these people, because I don't watch it. I'm not going to sit up here and lie to y'all and act like I watch it. I don't watch that much NBA as it is. And so it's not just a thing against women's basketball. It's just me with the sport of basketball in general. It's just not as entertaining to me as it once was. But I think this kind of coverage is great. And I think if anything, it's going to help. Is she the only face of the league? No, there's other great players. Asia Wilson, everything they're doing in Las Vegas. And now, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that them moving the home game was because of her. But I also saw somebody else say the Aces have moved to a big arena before. So
yeah,
I'm not too sure. But either way, salute to her. I do think it's crazy that Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese be making less in the WNBA than they're making in college, what I think is crazy. And I didn't know that the WNBA draft is that quick. Like,
Yep.
They have like no
next week.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, but the season started in like 3 weeks.
Yep.
Which is insane.
It's
How
not.
long is that training camp?
This shit started like the week after the draft.
That's wild.
I mean, but they play in the summer. You can't play in the winter with the NBA. So like, it's just like an unfortunate circumstance thing.
Yeah. And before we go, I just want to say this. I need everybody to remember this, black people in particular. When you click on these links, when you watch these videos, only thing that counts is the views. They don't give a fuck about your outrage. And as a matter of fact, they know that the more outrage, the more people are going to click on it.
Yeah.
So a lot of
They're
times
happy
they
about
know
your outrage.
Thank you, professional. Let
Yeah,
them know
they're
happy. Like,
they are
what they want.
They are fist pounding in meetings because of your outrage.
That paper on these player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna